Hey guys, so if you have not seen yet, 24.3 in typical open fashion is a combination of thrusters and pull-ups. So for the RX version of the workout, guys will be using 95 pounds, ladies will be using 65 pounds, and then there will be chest to bar pull-ups. If you make it through the first 5 rounds of the workout, you earn yourself a 1 minute rest before then getting some additional rounds of the workout where the thruster weight then increases to 135 pounds for guys and 95 pounds for ladies. We recognize that many of you are doing the official open for the very first time, and we are super excited and glad that you guys chose to partake. But we also want to let you know that this is typically how the open goes. I would say probably within the past 3 to 4 years, especially, um, they've tried to make the first workout accessible to almost everybody. And then typically the second workout is still relatively accessible for most people. And then the third workout is typically something where they kind of weed some people out, almost kind of an elimination style workout. So if you think with me just for a second, think about workout number one. Very simple, definitely not easy, but very simple, right? Burpees and snatches, accessible to everybody. Workout number two, relatively simple, but not easy. You've got deadlift, rowing, but then you got the double under thrown in there. So still accessible to a lot of people, but you start kind of weeding some people out on the leaderboard with the double under. And then this week we get smacked with the chest bar pull up. I want to encourage you guys that don't look at this as like some insurmountable obstacle that's going to ruin your open experience and, tank your score on the leaderboard. I want you guys to kind of change your perspective. So one thing we talk a lot about at Share the Burden is this idea of forcing adaptation. That's our goal. That's what we're trying to do. I know a lot of you guys want to get more fit. I know you want to have more endurance. I know you want to be more flexible and increase strength and all this stuff. But really, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is force your body to make adaptations. And sometimes we kind of get stuck in this loop of, all I want to do is just get a good workout, get sweaty, get out of breath, give my buddies a high five, and then head home. And that is totally fine. And you are welcome to do that. But from time to time, we need that little kick in the butt, that little extra piece of motivation to kind of challenge us, to stretch us, to push us outside of our comfort zone to make that adaptation. And I would just encourage you guys to look at this last workout as an opportunity to potentially do something that you've never done before, even if it's only one rep. And we love that. You guys need to know that your coaches, we would much rather celebrate somebody getting their first pull up or their first chest to bar or their first double under than we would, sending 30 people to quarterfinals and moving on through the open. For us as coaches, at least at Share the Burden, that's where we get our most joy. The other thing that I wanted to let you know is keep in mind, there are only 3 workouts. So, we're pretty much open every day of the year. With some exceptions like Christmas Day and Thanksgiving. So maybe let's just say 360 workouts a year. If you do the math, 3 workouts out of 360 is less than 1% of your training for the year. So keep that in the back of your mind too, that this is a very, very small percentage of the training that you do throughout the year. And I really think, and it's happened for me in the past. I remember back when I couldn't do a muscle up. I remember back when I couldn't do a double under. And it just lights a fire underneath you and pushes you and motivates you and inspires you for your training for the next year. And you say, I didn't like that feeling. It left a bitter taste in my mouth, and I'm going to push hard in my training for the next year to make sure that if those movements show back up next year, that I'll be able to conquer them. If you have not arrived before Friday Night Lights, I would encourage you this week, try to get there for open gym or try to get there by 5 p.m. I've tried to write kind of some tips and strategies for the workouts, but I would like to spend some time, around 5 o'clock on Friday going over chest to bar technique. I'd like to go over, the differences between somebody who's trying to get their first chest to bar versus somebody who maybe can do a couple of them but needs to practice linking them or doing kipping chest to bar. And then I would also like to offer some efficiency tips for those of us that, are already proficient at chest to bars, but maybe we can tighten up our form and our technique a little bit to make the movement more efficient. So if you can get out by 5 p.m. tomorrow, I think that will benefit some of you guys. I know Jason reached out to some people on his team. I would like to encourage you guys, if you have not heard this yet, that you are more than welcome to start the workout as RX. Remember, if you are officially registered in the CrossFit Open or if you're on the Intramural Open, you get more points for doing the workout RX. So knock out those thrusters, spend a couple of minutes, see if you can get that first chest to bar, or maybe you know that no matter what you do this year, chest to bars are not going to happen. Knock out that first set of thrusters, and then you can scale from there, finish out the workout, get a good workout, do multiple rounds, keep working, and that's totally fine. No one will judge you, I promise. I also wanted to let you guys know that Jason has done a fantastic job this year with our Friday Night Lights head-to-head matchups. We don't have the world's largest box. We have a pool of about 60 to 70 athletes and trying to kind of pick people that are similar as far as proficiencies go. And he's done that intentionally and deliberately. Obviously not everybody is exactly the same, but I think he's done a really good job of trying to pick people that are relatively similar in terms of proficiencies, so that it's not like a quote unquote blowout where you've got somebody who's doing the RX weight and all of the RX movements and they're super proficient, and then you've got somebody who's trying to get their first chest to bar. So kudos to Jason. He's worked really hard this year on the Intramural Open, and I think he's done a fantastic job. Moral of the story, you guys, we are so proud of you. Man, I know coaches have been texting back and forth throughout this whole Open, watching you guys get PRs, doing things that you've never done before. We could not be more proud of our community, and let's end this year on a high note. See you soon.